And after mastering Korean, you will be able to read any written Korean. Hello everyone, it's TA Stacy, your Korean friend. We'll be learning Hangul the fun and easy way in 3 steps, and this will be the first step. After this video, you'll be able to read some Korean syllables and even know some words, even though you may not know what they mean. And after mastering Korean, you will be able to read any written Korean because Korean language Hangul was created scientifically related to how it sounds by King Sejong in 1446. So before we actually get started, I have a quick question for you. Do you know the difference between 한국어 and Hangul? Surprisingly, even some Korean people get them confused because 한국어 means Korean, the Korean language, and Hangul is the Korean alphabet. So this is what we will be learning from today. So Hangul. Because it's always recommended that you master Hangul before you start speaking. Hangul contains 21 vowels and 19 consonants. In case you're not sure of what they are, vowels are A, E, I, O, U sounds, and consonants are the rest. So like B, H, F, K, T, S, whatever. All those are consonants. And Hangul can never be used alone as a consonant or vowel, so it'll always be combined with at least one consonant and one vowel to make one syllable. And whenever you see Korean, one thing you will notice is that it's written in like a box format instead of many other languages where you see like a string of consecutive letters spread out like this. You will see something like this. So we will look at the 2 basic box formats today here, and that is this one first, consonant, vowel, and this one, consonant on the top and vowel on the bottom. And we will start with vowels. Vowels started with these 3 shapes, which is this, meaning sky, and this being human, and this being the earth. And the first one we will look at today is this one here, the earth, and this has the sound like And you notice this? Your mouth is shaped similar to how it's written. It looks like this. Right? So you make the sound. But a lot of people get confused. What's that sound? This sound, one easy way to make is, let's start with like oo, and slowly you keep saying or making the same sound, but just move your lips to the side. Because is like this, right? And is like this. So from here, just by moving your lips, you make the sound. Okay, so this is the sound, the first one. And the next sound we will look at is this one, the human, and trust me, this is much easier. It's just the E sound. E. And if you notice this and this, you can just make the same shape. E, right? So E sound. So these are the basic 2 vowels in Hangul, and by adding this sky to these 2, we make the whole range of different vowels. And when Hangul was first made, it was this sound, the sky, but the modernized Hangul, we just write a little line. That's too small, but yes, a line. So, for example, with this E, let's start with the easy one, E, by putting this little sky here. So before it was like this, right? But now the modernized one, we write it this way. And this makes the ah sound. Ah, ah, ah is easy, right? And another one, if you put the line on the other side of E like this is O, O. O is, just think of the word under, and under, and that first syllable that you say, right? So, sound. And we will put sky on here, too. If you put it on top like this, and they're always connected like this. If you put it on top, it's O, easy, right? And if you put it on the bottom, it's U. So I think combined with the U, it makes it much easier, right? So already you have 6 basic vowels. U, E, A, O, U. Very good. And if you remember from the beginning, I said no vowel or consonant can stand alone in Korean language. So that means we need a consonant to go with our vowels, right? So I'll write them out and tell you how you can read them. So let's start with the first one. 기역. 기역. 기역 makes the g sound. And usually Korean kids learn it with the vowel ah, so we will do that too. So this one is ka, ka. And the next one is nian, nian, which makes the n sound. So that will be right, na, na. Na also means I. And tigut. Tigut makes the D sound, so ta. And this next one is a little confusing. This is dear, dear. And I noticed some people get this confused with S, but it's actually the other way around. So if you get confused, just remember S the other way around. Is dear, dear. This is also a little confusing to say because this is neither R nor L. It's more like the in-between sound. So this, if I want to say this, it's ra, ra. So it's not la, it's not ra. So it's ra. So when you say ra, your tongue is actually nowhere, touching almost nowhere in your mouth. So unlike la with an L, your tongue doesn't touch behind your teeth, behind your top teeth. And not like R, you don't roll your tongue. So it's like in between la and ra. So it's ra, ra, ra. And you notice this sounds a little softer, da, 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 instead of raw or la, it's da, da, da. So this is the next consonant. And this next consonant is very easy. It's like M, ma. Mium, mium is the M sound, ma. And this next one is peep, peep. Peep makes the B sound, so like pa. And this next one is 시옷, 시옷. 시옷 is, I would say, about SH sound because it's not S like sa, but it's more like sa, sa. So again, this is the soft sound. So sa, sa. And this one here, this one, ing, ing. So this circle is ing, and this ing is like a space holder, which means it has no sound. So like for example, if I want to write ah, need a space holder here, right? Like a consonant here. So I just write this ing. So this is a. Next one here is 지읒. 지읒. 지읒 is it's again like in between sound between ch and j maybe. So here, because it's ta, ta. It's not cha, it's not ja, it's cha, cha. So if you notice, most of the times in Korean, your tongue is not really touching anything in your mouth. It's not very strong sound. Ta, ta, ta. So very kind of lightly you would make the sound. So ta. And finally, the last one we have is this one, the H sound. Hit, hit, to make ha. Ha, right? So let's just read them through and see if you remember. Ka, na, ta, ra, ma, pa, sa, a, ta, ha. So now we mastered 10 consonants too. So today we already learned 6 vowels and 10 consonants. Very good. So, and of course, we can combine these consonants with any of the vowels we learned today. So remember the other side of a was o, right? Then it will be ko. No. Remember, na was I, no is you. So, no, to, ro, mo, po, so, o, cho, ho. Right? So, yeah, just keep the same vowel to practice your consonants and read it through. Okay, so now we will look at O. We will put O. So these are, remember when I said the box, the consonant is here and the vowel is here. This is the first box form, and this O will actually go to the bottom of the consonant. So it'll be the second format of the box. So O, like go, will look like this. Go. No. To. 로. 모. 보. 소. 오. 조. 호. Easy, right? Yay, you're on a roll. Now, the other side of O was oo. Oo, also the same, this format. So, the vowel goes at the bottom of the consonant. So, ku, nu, tu, ru, mu, 부, 수, 우, 주, 후. Yay! And exactly the same with U and E. And can you guess where U and E would go? Yes, if you notice a pattern here, U. Remember we put the line with U for O and U, and then it went to the bottom of the consonant. So it's the same with the U. So if you want to put U and say 그, 느, 두, 루, 무, 부, 수, 으, 주, 흐, also all go to the bottom. And how about E? Yes, we put the line here, right? So to the side of consonant. So E sound will be ki, ni, di, ri. So it will go to the side. Okay? Very simple, right? So once you get used to the pattern, you will not only be able to read it, but you will easily be able to write it too. So in this video, we just covered the basic consonants and vowels, but already you can make a lot of words in Korean. So I just brought a few samples here for us to practice. So let's try reading them. 다리, 다리, right? 다리 means actually two things, legs and bridge. Wow, you already know two words. 다리 and 나비. 나비 means butterflies. 모자, 모자, hat. 오이, 오이. O is actually 5. E is 2. But it doesn't mean 52. OE is actually cucumber. So OE, cucumber. This, 머리, 머리. And for muddy, I'll give you a hint. Head, shoulder, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulder, knees and toes. 머리, 어깨, 무릎, 발, 무릎, 발, 머리. Yes, so body means head. Head. And can you read this one? Banana. Banana. Does it sound familiar to you? Yeah, banana. It's a loan word that we use in Korean too. Banana, banana, is banana. And actually in Korea, May is, I'm recording this in May, and May is family month, and these two words come out a lot in this month because this one, 아버지, 아버지 means father. 어머니, 어머니 means mother. And there's so many other words, like for example, if you want to write Ghana, the country, Ghana, Ghana. Greece, 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 right? So even just with these very basic vowels and consonants that we learned today, you can already make so many words and read so many words. And at the first glance, Hangul may look cool, but when it comes to writing and remembering, it may be a little confusing. So the best way to remember is to practice writing, of course, and also making the sound at the same time. So ta, ri, na, bi, right? And of course, I'm not just going to leave my friends hanging there alone, like, okay, how do I start? So I prepared a worksheet for you that you can use. And you can get your worksheet by clicking on the link in the description box. So be sure to check it out, because in Korean, when you're learning Hangul, not only speaking but writing is very important. So practice writing and saying it out loud at the same time. And also, one thing I want to tell you is that even though it may look like some kind of drawing right now, it is alphabet, right? So it's actually important that you know the order of these letters. So for example, this mium is not like this, not like a square, but it's this way. So mo, ri, right? So when you get confused with the order, you can go back to the beginning of this video and see how I wrote them. Or if you look at your worksheet, you will see the order of writing these consonants and vowels. So I hope you get to use their worksheet and have fun with it. So we will use what we learned last time and move on to the second set of 8 vowels and 9 consonants today in this video. So remember the 6 vowels we learned last time? Yes, it was o, u, and e, right? So we will use these, and the sky, if you remember the sky, which now is used as like a line here, we will put just one extra line with these. So, will be ya. Ya. And if you put it here, well, actually you can put it on the top or bottom. It doesn't matter. Just make two lines. Yo. Yo. Do you notice that by putting another line, we are making like the Y sound? So instead of ya, o, yo, o, yo, right? Yo, o, you, or let's just write it this way, you, and these two will just remain the same. So yeah, so by putting the double lines, it's basically like you're putting Y in the beginning of all the sounds. So ya, yo, yo, you. And this time we again have the basic vowels from last time, and now we will add E. We will add this E to this because it's the vertical line, right? And this is also the vertical line, so they come together, and we will put it here to make a sound, like a sound. And we can put it also here and also make a sound. So it may be confusing, right? Because this and this does not sound very different. So not only you, but to Korean ears too, they're not very different. So if I want to be like very textbook like, this is the long A and this is the short A, so this is more like A as an apple, apple, and this E is more like an E as an egg, so but in Korean, you're lucky. The good news is, even native Korean speakers don't really make the different sounds for this A and this A. So unless your dream is to be like a TV news announcer in Korea, you don't really have to make the different sounds for this A and this A. But another thing you have to remember is, even though the sounds may be the same or very similar, the meanings are very different. So when you're writing them, you have to differentiate this and this. But when you're speaking, you don't have to worry about differentiating these two. Okay, so this A and A. And with what we learned here too, ya can also be used with another E and make ye sound. And this one also can be used with another E and make another ye sound. So if you notice, these two also have very similar sounds. Ye. So it's the same as these two. You can just say it the same way, but when you're writing, you have to know the difference. Okay? So that's it for the vowels of today. And now let's move on to the consonants. So remember the 10 basic consonants we learned in the last video? We will be using them again to make the second set of consonants. So I'll just write them down as a reminder. 기역, 니은, 디귿, 리을, 미음, 비읍, 시옷, 이응, 지읒, 히읗, right? So these are what we had last time. And today we will be making a little stronger sounds. And again, we put the sky, the little line here. Well, a good news is that not all of these have the second sound. So only a few. 기역 is changed into kiok. Kiok is the k sound. Remember, kiok was a g sound, so kiok is k sound. So k, 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 k. So stronger sound. And the next one. And remember, tigut had the D sound. So now with this added, it has the T sound. Tigut, tigut. So t, t, right? And moving on to piup, which was the B sound. B sound, piup, actually the letter changes a little bit. So it becomes like this. And this is the P sound. P. Piup. Piup. Right? And the last one we have is this jiut. Jiut, putting this at the top. Jiut was like the between CH and J sound, right? And now this time it makes the complete CH sound. Jiut, jiut, right? So this is the t sound. Right, maybe I should put it here. Okay. So this is the ch sound. So only these four have the stronger sounds. And similar to what we did before, let's just put a as a vowel. Then we have ka, ta, pa, cha. Right? Ka, ta, pa, cha. Okay, so that was the second set of consonants we learned today. Now the next set of consonants we will be looking at are the double consonants. So it just literally means you double the consonants that we already have. But we're not going to use all of these because only 5 of them are doubled. So for example, the first one, kiok, was changed to k sound, right? Kiok. And now when it's doubled like this, it's 쌍기역. 쌍 means double. So 쌍기역. 쌍기역 makes ga, g sound, g. So with a, ga, ga. And the next one we have is 쌍디귿. 쌍디귿. 쌍디귿 is da. Da. I'll just keep putting a. So da, da. And the next one we have is 쌍비읍. 쌍비읍 is ba, 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 b sound. And 쌍시옷. 쌍시옷. Can you guess? So we're making like a double consonant sound. So this was like sound. So this is sa. So this is similar to the S sound in English. So sa, sa. And the last one we have is 쌍치읓. With a, 자, 자. So instead of 자, 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 right? So these are the consonants of today. We learned 9 more, right? So these are stronger ones. Ka, ta, pa, cha, and ga, da, ba, sa, ja. Voila, we're done already. Wow, good job. As I promised earlier, now you can read about 70% of Hangul. So just be proud and pat yourself on the shoulder. So now that means it's time for us to check how many more words we can read. Of course, there are so many more words, but we will start with these. So, 휴지. 휴지. 휴지 means toilet paper. 토끼. 토끼. 토끼 means the rabbit. A rabbit. 우유. 우유. 우유 means milk. 야구. 야구 means baseball. 시계. 시계 means clock or watch. Well, you can use this word for both clock and watch. It has 3 syllables, right? 코 means nose, but 코끼리 means something, an animal with long nose. Yeah, elephant. 코끼리 is elephant. And the last one, 쓰레기. 쓰레기 means trash. And finally, last but not least, I'm sure if you're a K-pop fan or a K-drama fan, you've heard this word many, many, many times. So you probably even know what it means already. Right? 오빠. 오빠. Do you guys know the song Gangnam Style? Psy's Gangnam Style? It says Oppan Gangnam Style. So oppa. Oppa just means older brother. So oppa. Oppa. Well, let me twist it a little bit and make this O instead of O. A. Appa. Appa means dad. Remember last time we had 아버지, which was a father, and this time 아빠 is dad. So now you can already combine so many syllables to make all these different words. Now that we added on more consonants and vowels, it looks very similar and gets more confusing, right? So the best way to remember is keep practicing them. So don't forget to practice your writing and speaking at the same time. So again, this time I left the worksheet down below in the description box for you so you can use them to practice writing your Hangul. And don't forget, the order of Hangul is very important, and it's I think the best way to remember in the beginning, because once you develop a habit of writing, it's really hard to change later on, even when you know it's not the right way, right? So please try to write in the proper order. We'll be learning the 7 double vowels and the last ending consonant called the 받침. So remember, these are the basic vowels we've learned so far, right? And we will learn the last 7 of the double vowels. So we will use this second line here. These are already combinations of this with like the sky, remember? So these we are not going to use. We will only use the top line here, the basic vowels, and we will combine 2 to make 1 syllable. So for example, let's start with these 2 here, and we will use 이응, the space holder. So 와, O and A. So 와, 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 와. Quickly to make 1 syllable. Wa, wa, right? So it's like wa sound, wa. And now here, wa, wa. Wo, right? Wo. Maybe like this sound. And if you notice here, whenever you have a horizontal vowel and vertical vowel, we always put the horizontal vowel first. So it's always horizontal, vertical, right? Okay. And the next one we have is this way here. So this is 왜, right? So 왜. We means why in Korean, so it's like we. And you're now seeing the pattern here, right? So here is 왜, so we. Okay, so another thing, if you notice, is here, whenever you have u and another vowel, this last vowel goes kind of underneath the U. So if you write this way, the people will know how to read it, but this is not the correct way. So this all should go underneath the U. Okay, so same here. All right, and then, so the next one we will look at is actually combined with this E here. And which are these two? So this one and this one. So with O, it's we. We. Be careful, it's not oi. This is O, this is E, but it's not pronounced as oi. It's we. And this U and E, it's ui quickly, so we. This is like, maybe like this. Okay. And finally, the last one we have here is this and this together. So this is probably one of the most difficult syllables to pronounce. It's ui. Quickly. Ui. Okay. So now we have these 7 new double vowels here. But did you notice something funny? Maybe if you have very sensitive ears, you try to listen carefully and try to make sense of the sound, but these just simply sound the same. This, and this, right? Even though I tried to write it differently. Remember last time when we looked at the vowels like this again? This, yeah, and this, yeah. I said, even though they're written differently, unless your dream is to be like the TV news announcer in Korea, you don't have to try to differentiate the sounds, is what I told you, right? So again, the same way here. So this, we, you can all pronounce it the same way. We. But when you're writing them, just like these two, here also, when you're writing, you have to write them correctly. They can't replace one another because they have different meanings, obviously. So when you're writing, remember the spelling, but when you're just speaking, you can just simply say we for these 3. And just the last one, this one here, it was not oi, right? It was we. So I think it's easier if you just remember this 1, 2, 3, same pronunciation, the same way, right? We, right? Okay, now that clears our vowels completely. Done. So you have finally mastered the Hangul vowels. So before we move on to the consonants, let's see if we can read these words here. 돼지. This was we, right? So 돼지. 돼지 means pig. This we, G means mouse. This, remember, this was a we sound again, right? Same sound as this. We, so 회사 means office or company. Remember this sound? I said it was the same sound as this one here, we, right? So with the hit, it's 회사 means company. And next one here is something we eat almost every day. 사과 means apple. This 의자 means a chair. This we already did this, right? Why? So now you can read almost all Korean words, but we have the last final consonant, so we will move straight on to that. Now that we have all the vowels out of the way, let's look at the final consonants called the 받침. If you remember in the first video when I talked about putting syllables in a box, we had two boxes. One was consonant, vowel, right? And the next one was consonant and vowel like this. So this is what we're used to seeing. But now we will just add one more consonant, which is 받침, the final consonant, and they go here or here. So it's another consonant like this, right? So it means we have 4 different types of boxes, 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So we will look at the final combination of Korean words. So out of the 19 consonants we've learned so far, 3 double consonants, 쌍디귿, 쌍비읍, and 쌍지읒, are not used as the final consonant, 받침. So let me get these out of the way. So we will be using all the rest, 16 consonants, to use as 받침. Actually, the 받침s may sound a little different from how these consonants are used in the beginning of a syllable, so I divided them into how it sounds. So the first one we will look at are actually these 3 is one set. So I'll just use the simple ak, ak, ak. So remember the 받침s go underneath the basic syllable. So ak, ak, ak. So they all have ak, ak. Not quite K, but not quite G. So kind of in between ak, ak, ak sound. So I will just write K, like sound. Okay. And this nian also used as 받침. And I will also use a. An. Remember this nian is like N sound. Also here the same an. 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 So same sound. And the third sound is actually the biggest group, which is this here and these here, and this here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All these have like the T sound. So again, I'll write them. At. 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 Well, this one too. At. 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 And at. They all are written differently, and again, they all have different meanings. So when you write them out, you have to use the right spelling. But when you say it, they all have like the T ending sound. So at. Okay. So a little easier now, right? Because we have a big group of the same sounds. And the rest of them actually all have different sounds. So let's start with the 리을. Al. Remember, 리을 was neither L nor R, so it was kind of in between sound. So here also it's al, al, al. But after saying al, your tongue kind of touches the middle part of the top of your mouth. Not behind your front teeth, but like the middle part of your ceiling of your mouth. So al, al, al. And this mium is like M sound, right? So here too, am. And the next one, piup or piup, up. Also, it has about P sound. So if you notice, these, when they're used as 받침, they have a little stronger sound, right? So up, up. So up, up. Okay, and this last one we have here, this is the space holder, right? But it's also used as 받침. The sound it makes is ang, ang. So this alone was right? And when you put ing at the end, ang. So it has that sound. So ang. Okay? So these are all the basic 받침s and the way they sound. Just when you thought we were done with Hangul finally, we just have one last thing. The highlight of this video is, maybe you're confused. Maybe you're thinking, oh, maybe should put two consonants just together too closely. Actually, these are also double consonant 받침. So we have a combination of these different consonants and 11 of them. And these are all also used as a 받침 as well as what we just looked at earlier. But I will tell you a simple way to try to pronounce them and try to differentiate them. So these double consonant 받침s are basically divided into two groups, like this. The ones with real and the ones without real. So let's start with the ones without real. Because all these, it can be very confusing to read because you don't know which one to say, right? But these you always say the first consonant. So I'll just write down some words to tell you how you can actually read them. So, 나. So even though it has 기역, 시옷, you can just simply say it like you only see 기역. So, 나, right? This one, I'll write down the word 앉다. 앉다. It means to sit. Here also, just pretend you don't see this 찌읒, you just see this ni은, so it's 앉다. Okay, and this one here too. 앉다. Oh, yeah. So because you are only gonna pronounce the first consonant and just ignore the second part, this one, even though they are written differently, they sound the same. 앉다. But as I told you many times before, they mean different things because they are different spellings. So this 앉다 is 앉다, it's not something. So it means not, and this means to sit. Okay, so all these without real, you would just say the first consonant. Okay. Now moving on to the second section, the ones with real. But this group also is divided into two, like this. This first part, you would pronounce the first consonant, which is real that you see, right? So again here, I'll just give you some examples of words. So this one, 넓다. 넓다 means to be big or wide. So 넓다. Here too, 넓다. So you can just say the real. And this one here, it's a little more complicated. 외골. Also, no, this one, 외골. 외골. And this one, 핥아. 핥아. 핥아 means to lick. So when you have a puppy or something, or like cat, right? 핥아. And this last one is 잃다. 잃다. 잃다 means to lose something. So as you notice, a lot of these are verbs. So 잃다. So all these four, you just say the dear 받침, right? So 넓다, 외골, 핥다, 잃다, right? And maybe you understand the second section, right? This is the first dear, so these are right, the second consonant. You pronounce the second consonant here. So again, I will write down some words. This means to read. 읽다, 읽다. And 담다, 담다. 담다 is to be similar to something, to look alike or to be similar. And the next one is upda. Upda. P was like the P sound, right? So upda. Upda is like recite. So recite a poem. So recite. A lot of times when I tell my students these, they get so confused. And they're like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore, right? Oh my goodness, how did I forget? I said 11 and I only wrote down 10 on the board. So the last one we have is 비읍, 시옷, which is used with words like 없다. 없다 means there's no. So it's used quite often, and it's 비읍, 시옷, so the 비읍 is pronounced. So 없다, 없다. But I don't think you have to really worry about these that much yet if you're just beginning, because these fortunately are not used so much in Korean. And when you see them, just try to remember these three different sections, then you will probably be able to read them. But I think the best way to remember these is probably when you are memorizing the words and you see these double 받침s, then you just remember how it sounds at that time instead of trying to memorize 기역, 시옷, 기역 sound, and 리을, 비읍, the 리을 sound, 리을, 미음, the 미음 sound. No, it's really hard. It's going to be so complicated when you try to remember each one of them that way. So I think the best way to remember these is to just remember the words. Remember how the words sound whenever you see them. So if you are not at the point where you've seen any of these complicated 받침s yet, that just probably means that you don't really have to memorize these just yet. So you will probably eventually come across these. Then that's probably your time to try to remember these. Okay? Good job! Congratulations! So if you have been with me from the beginning till now, learning Hangul, good job! You have completed the Hangul course. You know, some people say that it only took them 2 to 3 hours to learn Hangul, and others say that it took them like a week or 2 or even a month to master Hangul. I don't think it depends on like how much effort you put into it or how good your memory is. It usually takes a little time to fully master and remember Hangul because it's probably the writing system that you're not very used to, right? So if you don't remember everything you've learned and if you can't read everything in Korean, it's okay because it will take time, and as time goes on and as you learn to speak with reading, then you will pick them up and remember so much quickly and so much easier. So don't worry, don't be so harsh on yourself and you feel like I'm obligated to remember all these. No, you don't have to do that. So take it easy. But I want to help you to remember these because especially in this video, it was a little complicated, right? So I again included the worksheet down below in the description box. So please use that to practice writing Hangul, right? And it'll help you to remember a little better. And of course, when you're practicing, when you're writing, say it out loud too, so you know exactly, you remember exactly how they sound. Okay, and if this video was helpful, and if you haven't yet, please don't forget to subscribe and leave thumbs up and keep your notification bell on so you will be notified when I drop another helpful video like this in the future. Have fun! 안녕!